Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 2, Chapter 4.5, Notes, Part 1. Today we are talking about using the point-slope formula to write slope-intercept form equations of lines. Our learning target today is to be able to write slope-intercept equation of a line given a point using the point-slope formula, and to be able to write slope-intercept equations of a line given a point and a line parallel or perpendicular to it. So let's go ahead and get started with today's warm-up. Go ahead and see if you can complete the 2 problems below. Please pause the video and try your best. Okay, so there are the answers for 1 and 2. Remember that m is your slope, so wherever you see the slope, put it where it goes, and then the y-intercept, which is b, is where b goes. Okay, now for number 2, remember that you have to count the slope yourself. It's going down 1 over 1. And the y-intercept is the point 0, 2. And once we have all that, we can write our equation y equals negative 2x plus 2. All right. How to write a slope-intercept equation for a line when given a slope and a point. Okay. Now, what we're going to be talking about today is the point-slope formula. Now, they were extremely creative when they came up with this formula and how to name it, because pretty much what they give you is they give you a point and they give you the slope. Okay? And this is when a point, normally we give a point that looks like this, and this is the y-intercept because 0 is the first number. Now we're going to be given points like this, okay, where 0 is not the first number, and this is when we use the formula, okay? And the formula is equals slope x minus x1, okay? So there's your slope, and then they give you a point, okay? So the way that this works is step 1 is to substitute into the point-slope form. So we're going to substitute into the point-slope formula. And then what I want you to do is to simplify. And by simplify, we mean do any click-clicks, okay? Because when you have 2 subtraction signs next to each other, or 2 negative signs, it's really a positive, okay? So you got to do that first. Once you're done with that, you're going to distribute the m, and then the last, solve for y, because you want y by itself, so it goes into y equals mx plus b, okay? All right, now, whenever we write the equation, we're going to go y minus, put a blank, and put a blank, so we know that our slope goes here, and then we'll fill in the other 2 blanks like that, okay? Actually gonna copy that. So, example number 1. There's my formula. I have it written down. Let's label what the x is and what the y is, and then there's our slope, okay? So, that's where my slope goes. The y goes with the other y, and then the x goes with the x. Okay, so we don't have any click-clicks. So the next thing we have to do is to distribute. So y minus 2 equals negative 5x plus 15. Add the 2 to both sides. And we get y equals negative 5x plus 17. And let's actually make that look like a 17. Okay? That's it. That's not too bad, is it? Alright, let's go back. We're ready for the next equation. Okay? So a line that passes through 1, 5 and has a slope of 2. So there's the x, there's the y goes with the y, the x goes with the x, and then the slope is 2. Okay, do we have any clicks? Nope. So let's go through and distribute the 2. Y minus 5 equals 2x minus 2. And then to get the y by itself, we have to add the 5 to both sides. Y equals 2x plus 3. Now, to double check that we're doing this right, my slope is 2, right? Is the slope still 2? Yeah, that means that we're doing everything right. Okay, moving on. So, y minus your y equals the slope, x minus your x, y, slope. Okay, so the y where the y goes, the slope where the slope, or the x where the x goes, and then the slope. Okay? Now, when we distribute here, some of you might know how to do this right away. Others might be like, I don't want to multiply fractions. Well, doing the slope part's easy because it's just 2 over 7x. But then off to the side, we have 2 sevenths times 14, and that's 14 over 1. Now, we've talked about doing this 2 ways, where you can just multiply across, and you can get your answer that way, which ends up being 4. Or, when we do the kitty corner reducing, looking at the 14 and the 7, that's supposed to be a 1. 7 goes into itself 1 time, and it goes into 14 2 times, and you're going to get the same thing. So it's pretty much however you want to do it. Okay? But then to get the y by itself, 2 over 7x plus 6. Okay? And just like we talked about, look at the slope. They're the same. And this is a formula that you will need to memorize. Okay? So there's my x, there's my y, and there's the slope. Plug in the slope in. X, and there's the y, and there's the x. Now on this one, we actually have to perform the click-click. Okay? So that's what we're going to do first. And then distribute. So we get y minus 6 equals 4/3 x. And then I have to do 4 over 3 times 3 over 1, which is 12 over 3, which is the same thing as 4. Okay. Add the 6 to both sides. And our final answer is y equals 4/3 x plus 10. All right, number 5. Why don't you guys pause the video and see if you can plug everything into where it belongs. Okay, there you go. You get y minus 9 equals negative 3/4 parentheses x, and that back part turns to plus 8. So go ahead and distribute. We get y minus 9 equals negative 3/4 x minus, then we got 3 over 4 times 8 over 1, which is 24 over 4, which is 6. And it's a negative 6. Okay, add 9 to both sides. Y equals negative 3/4 x plus 3. All right, number 6. You are all on your own. Pause the video. Good luck. Okay, so I lied a little bit. You're not going to do this one all by yourself. Now, when you distributed the negative 1/2, you should have gotten negative 3 over 2. Okay, did you get that far? So the next point, we have to subtract the 4 to both sides. And before we get our final answer, you have to subtract negative 3 over 2 minus 4. Okay, and that's 4 over 1. Now, before you do that, you have to have an LCD. Okay, so we need to change 4 over 1 to have a denominator of 2. So you times it by 2, you times it by 2, and this is really negative 3 over 2 minus 8 over 2. And if you want to do the click, you end up getting negative 11 over 2. Okay? And working with fractions is fine. Okay? Don't be scared. Don't be a math weenie. It's okay. Alright. Now we're going to talk about some special cases when we're working with parallel and perpendicular lines. It's important that we remember the definitions of these. Parallel lines have the same slope. Perpendicular lines have the opposite and reciprocals for the slope. Now, the directions are telling us to do the same thing. Always take a look at what the word's telling you. So a line parallel to y equals negative 1/3 x plus 5 through the point negative 3, 7. So we know our x, we know our y, but what's our slope? Well, we have to steal the slope from the equation, okay? Since it's parallel, it's going to be the same. So when we plug into the equation, you know, the x is negative 3, the y is 7, and then the slope is negative 1/3, okay? Before we distribute, we have to do the clicks, and then distribute, okay? Y minus 7 equals negative 1/3 x, and then negative 1/3 times 3 over 1, which is negative 3 over 3, which is negative 1. Okay. Add the 7 to both sides, and you get y equals negative 1/3 x plus 6. Okay. Now, reading the next one, perpendicular. Perpendicular means we have to change that slope. I want the opposite, so that's negative, so my new slope's going to be positive. And reciprocal, so 3 over 4. And we're still using the points x and y. Okay, start plugging in. There's your y, there's your x. Oh, I know I have to do a click, so I'm just going to do it right now. And then times 3 over 4. So we have to distribute the slope. Y minus 5 equals 3 over 4x plus, off to the side, 3 over 4 times 8 over 1. 24 over 4, which is 6. Get the y by itself by adding 5 to both sides. And get y equals 3 over 4x plus 11. Okay. Last two. Now, for this one, perpendicular to 2, and that's 2 over 1. So our slope has to be the opposite, so it's going to be negative, and the reciprocal. Now, let's look at the next one. The next one says parallel. So I want the same slope, and the slope right there is -1. Okay? So number 9 and number 10 are all yours. Go ahead and pause the video and see how you do. Okay, and there are your answers. Just be careful if you had to do clicks, if you had to do a negative times a positive or a negative times a negative. Be very careful with your signs. And those are your final answers. So if you have any questions, as always, please come see Ms. Carranza or myself. We would love to help you out. Otherwise, that's it for Algebra 2, Chapter 4.5 Notes, Part 1. Thanks for watching.